Hello, it's been some time, guys. Today's video we're talking about preload ships. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, well, at least most of you guys should know what preload ships are. Nothing too fancy, right? But we're going to talk about preload ships as of today's video because preloads are probably one of the most game-breaking kind of ships you can have in the game. Specifically carrier ones. They're very, very good. Very, very good. So if you guys don't know what preload is one of these skills or whatever or ships they have where it lets you stock up on either volleys or airstrikes or even torpedoes sometime right off the bat and you can just fire them right away. So there's a couple I want to talk about in particular. We're going to be talking about backline. There are some preloads for torpedoes as well too. I'll probably show clips or something, but I'm not going to talk too much into them. But we're going to talk about mainly battleships and carriers for this video for preloads because those two are probably the most game-breaking ones. ASAP. So, to start off, we're going to talk about the battleship ones. The battleship ones that right now, most French battleships have preload. So, Iris and Vichia, most of the battleships here have it. So, Richelieu, Champagne, JB, all have preload. All preload. So, this makes it so if you fire your volley, you can do it right away at the 0-second mark. Makes it very good. You get more burst out. You can kill things faster. Assuming the boss isn't super tanky, getting that first shot in helps us wave clearing and all that stuff very well. Very well. It speeds up your clear times by a much faster pace compared to a regular battleship that requires you to wait like 20 seconds usually to fire off their own volley. Now you can fire off 2 volleys in the span of 20 seconds or so, which is double the wave clear. And that's very good. Very, very good. So that's going to be battleship volleys. Now we're going to talk about carriers. So carriers also have preloads as well too. And if you guys already know what preload is, or like I just said, you start off with an airstrike. So Aquila is one of the battleships or one of the carriers that has airstrike preload. And what this does is it lets you just fire off right away an airstrike for no consequences. You can just fire it right away. This makes this so you get early burst, and if you're in PvP, this makes it so you get instant uncamo or whatever it's called for the backline, so your own ships can see them. So it makes it easier for PvP, and it's just free damage altogether. It is just too good to pass up. Aquila is a very good ship for carriers. The other one is Perseus. Now Perseus damage isn't as high as Aquila's, but to make up for it, she has 2 preload airstrikes. 2. Now, because of her built-in kit with the heals and whatnot, this makes it so it's a lot more dangerous. Because now, you can fire off 1 preload and you can hold off on the other one if you choose to, and save it for when you need it again. Or you can fire off both airstrikes away. That's also a thing as well too. But if you're playing manual for whatever reason, you can fire off 1, save the other one. Or if you're on auto, it just fires 2 right away. Still a lot of damage altogether. So Perseus and Aquila, very powerful with the preload. Super powerful with the preload. And there are some ships in the game, like battleships in particular, where it's not preload, but if you fit the requirements, you can basically volley right away when the match starts. So in this case, Veneto here, if there's a certain amount of ships in the if there's 2 Italian ships in the fleet, it decreases her first volley by 40%. So it's not actually preload, but because of this massive cooldown reduction on the first volley, it kind of is like a fake preload. It's not all the way. It's like probably save you by like 8 seconds or so. So it's not that big. I know Prince of Wales also has this as well too, but hers up to like 85%, I believe. So let me find her real quick somewhere. Right here. Hers is about 85%, I believe, but you're gonna have to use USS ships. That's the only difference here. So she also has like a fake preload. It's not like the best one, but it's just easy. It's just easy burst damage right away if you want to just put out a lot of damage ASAP. Preload is super good for that. Super good for that. There's also torpedoes as well too. I'm not gonna talk much about into those. But there's a lot of torpedo ships in the game, or a lot of torpedo ships in the game that has preload and whatnot. So That's pretty much it. Preload is very powerful. I'm pretty sure some of you guys are using them. If you guys aren't using them, then you don't have to, but I highly recommend. If you're struggling anywhere, preload ships will make things a lot easier, except for bossing, but it should make things a lot easier for like mob clearing, wave clearing, and all that jazz. Preload is just a very powerful kit, very powerful tool. Use it as much as possible if you guys choose to.